Ever wonder, why was I born with two hands? Because...
Now, I think I'm live. Had to go mute some stuff over on the YouTube side. And I know I saw Patty. Hello, Patty. And you got your chicken pattern today. And Randy, Grandpa Randy's here. And I said, Grandpas are pretty awesome too. And Sewing Sensations by Shady Susan. She's here. And hello to Sarah. And I don't think Sarah's a grandma, but all of y'all are welcome. And Kim's here. Hello, Kim. And I posted the link to the StreamYard so y'all could come up here with me. Hello, Sandra Kay. Hello, Mandy. Glad all of y'all are in here. Oh, there's Ann. Hello, Ann Philbeck from Virginia. And Ingrid Bowers is here. Irish Sailor, great grandma. I'm not a great grandma yet, but grandmas are just pretty neat to have around. Oh, here comes. There's Frances. You're a grandma. I know you are. So. Comes in.
A new board. John taped it for me.
Oh, that's pretty.
And I started sewing my pieces on my flowers.
Yeah. And hello, Grandma Kim.
Hi.
It's going to be the gang of grandmas. And you know, my husband called.
Hey.
Today, when I was setting this up, I asked my husband, I said, what can I call this tonight? And he said, well, call it the gang of grandmas. So
here you go.
Yes.
Ain't nothing better.
I know. They ain't.
I gotta pick up my glasses. Whew. Oh, that's so much better. I can only handle wearing those bifocals just so long, then they've got to go. I've had those things on most of the day, so.
And Jailbait, our favorite rooster's here, but Randy's here. He's one of our favorite roosters too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I know you're not a grandma, but I bet you've got a grandma somewhere.
Hi, Mindy. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Lisa.
I'm still catching up on comments. All weekends with your granddaughters.
Oh, that will be neat.
Mm-hmm. And Howdy Rita from Southern Oregon. And we know Nancy's a grandma because we see Boss all the time. I may have missed some. If I missed you, I'm sorry, but y'all are all welcome in. Now, Frances was showing us her board. And Kim, what are you working on? You doing anything special or just?
No. I've got two quilts sandwiched, and I've got them rolled up on pool noodles. But I need to get them in here on my dining table so that I can get them laid out and pin them so that I can go ahead and get them quilted. It's all, you remember the old polyester double knits of the 70s?
Yes. Yes.
A friend of mine that used to live here she gave me a whole bunch of fabric, I don't know, 2-3 years ago. And there was a whole bunch of that double knit in it. But there wasn't enough to do any like clothing or anything for any of the grandkids because the granddaughters the youngest one was like, Grandma, that's not stylish. She was 5 at the time. And of course the grandson, he wasn't about to touch that. And the oldest granddaughter, there wasn't enough in it to make anything to fit her. So I decided, well, I'm just going to make quilt tops out of it. And it does make nice, heavy quilts. But all I'm going to do to it is just tie it. And the lady gave me, there was probably 15 flat sheets in that mess of stuff that she gave me.
Wow.
And so I've got all kinds of backing, and I just grabbed a couple of the sheets and threw them on the back. And as soon as I get these done, I've got 2 quilts that my grandmother started, and she made them for my parents. The first one she made in 1950 for their wedding, and the second one she made in 1952 for their 2nd anniversary. Mom never got around to giving them back to Grandma to get them quilted. So now I have them all of these years later, and I'm going to finish them up and give one to each of the girls.
How
Yeah,
good
that's what I do.
So
And I was going to say hi to Beverly and hi to Ashley at CNC Farm. And you guys that haven't been here before, if you'll type hand, it ought to drop your link to your channel. Have to add that. That's
that's a good idea.
have to put that up there. Oh, here
That's
comes
a good idea.
Hello, Grandma Gigi. I know you're part of our grandma gang.
Yeah, I got that far.
Oh my goodness.
I like that.
That's beautiful.
That's like her block that she wants figured out.
Yeah.
That is really pretty.
I have it pinned on my other one.
Hello to Kelly Wayraj. I didn't say that right. I know I didn't.
Hi, Kelly.
And I can tell you, your grandma, if that's who made it,
she
did
made
a lot of work.
It's all hand pieced and hand quilted and everything. Yeah.
I cut out. This is the second set of blocks to try to get it to come out to the right size.
Wow.
But she didn't. All her quilts were made on just by hand, with needle and thread and by hand.
So it was fun getting this far.
And all my quilts from Grandma's were finished when I got it. Yeah, the quilt I got from Grandma was finished too. So I'm not like Kim, have to finish them. But
I got a top finished for my mom's youngest sister. She's the only surviving member of the family, and she had found it, and she sent it to me, and she said, "I think it's one of the quilts that Mother started. Would you finish it?" Hi, Joy. And I said, "Well, of course."
Well, yeah.
But when my grandma made it, the part that she made had very tiny little seams. She didn't take a 1/4-inch seam. She went by that little skinny foot that was on that old antique Singer of hers. And so I had to try to figure that out. I got it. The top is done, but that fabric is from the 1930s and 40s. And so when I quilt it, I talked to my aunt day before yesterday, and I said, "Are you okay with me doing big stitch quilting on it?" And she said, "Honey, I have no idea what that is." I said, "Ask the ladies in your quilt group what it is." I said, "It's a longer stitch than a regular quilt stitch." And I said, "But it won't be tied." And I said, "When you get this," I said, "it's going to require handling with kid gloves." And I said, "When you launder it," I said, "you're going to have to be really careful."
Yeah.
And she said, "Well, I would imagine that will be something for the granddaughter to take to a dry cleaner to have it cleaned." I said, "Well, that'd probably be best."
Yeah.
But the other 2 quilts I've got that Grandma, well, the ones she made for Mom, they have a deeper seam, and so they won't be a problem.
Yeah.
But I'm going to quilt them the same way with the big stitch.
Them on the sewing machine though. She didn't piece them by hand though. I mean,
The two she gave Mom were pieced on her sewing machine. I have a quilt that my great grandmother made, and it's all pieced by hand. And my great grandmother was blind, And that quilt is just as perfect as it can be. And I finally figured out how she did it. I finally found a reason to be thankful for fibromyalgia because my fingers are really sensitive. And I'd be sitting here sewing on a hand piece quilt and I'd be running out of fabric. Look down, and I had sewn the entire thing. I could feel where the fabric was and I knew where I was putting my needles, so I just kept going. And that has to be how she did it. But that quilt has been well loved, and after all of these years, I think I'm going to make a couple of either big pillows for my girls, or I'm going to make some big teddy bears with it.
Yeah.
And give one to each of the girls. So,
yeah.
because the fabrics that are in that date clear back to the 1920s and beyond. Some of them are from the turn between the 19th and the 20th century. So it's pretty special.
Yeah. I've got one old quilt that goes back, was started in the 1890s. And my great aunt finished it because her mother died while she was working on it, so she finished it. So it's
that is awesome.
And it looks awful. I mean, it looks terrible. You know, it really does, because they used it. You know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But we know about how, when it was started and how old it was, because the mother died like in 1898 and she had it started when she died. So.
Well, you know, at that time, people made quilts to use. They had to.
They had to.
But quilts weren't just specifically for beds. They were used as tablecloths, and they were used as covers on their carts. They used those quilts for everything.
Yeah. And none of them were very big. They were all just little small quilts, though. They didn't have big beds.
Yeah. Well, what were they? Even our full-size quilts are considered a little big compared to what they used to make. But when I have talked to some mothers that have quilted like that, they said the beds that couples slept in weren't a whole lot bigger than a twin-size bed today.
Yeah.
And I look at those twin-size beds and I'm thinking, no way. My mom and daddy, my daughters and their husbands, and me and my late husband, there ain't no way we'd have fit in that thing together.
Oh. Gladys, hello, Gladys.
Well, even the older sheets that my grandma handed down to me after I got married, I said, "What, did you guys always short sheet it? Because if you tucked it under any, it didn't even go up. I mean, it wouldn't cover you right across the chest down here because it was short sheeted. But it had beautiful crocheted Cinderella, or a ball type girl was crocheted across the top for us girls, and it's like, but it doesn't go up where you can even see it, unless you turned your blanket down half the bed, and then you could see it."
Wow. My sister-in-law had a bunch of those real fancy sheets that had the fancy lace on them and the fancy crochet across the top. And I said, "Lola, what is the sense of that?" I said, "When you make the bed, it's not even going to show." She said, "Oh, no, honey." She said, "These sheets are long enough." She said, "You pull this way up." And then she said, "That lace is what folds back down over your blanket."
Yeah.
And she said, "And then your pillows lay on top of that."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, but what's the sense of it?" She said, "Oh," she said, "it was just fancy folks that had it." And I looked at my sister-in-law and I said, "If this for fancy folks, why do you have it?" She said, "Well, I just took a liking to it, so I kept getting them." And I know as the sheets would wear out, she would take all that lace off of it, and she brought me a whole box of it one day. She said, "Can you use this for anything?" I was like, "Yes." And she said, "What are you going to do with it?" And I said, "I will put it on some little girls' dresses. This is beautiful lace." Some of it was hand crocheted.
Yeah.
And it was just beautiful. And my granddaughter got a kick out of it.
Yeah.
So, and I told her, I said, now, when you are done with the dress, I said, you bring it back and I'll take the lace off. And I said, and then I'll attach that to some quilt blocks for you so that you will have it as a keepsake.
Yeah.
And it all that lace, as she outgrew stuff, her mother packed the dresses into boxes, and eventually I'll get them back, and I can make Izzy a special quilt out of it.
That'll be that special too. Yeah.
Devin's like her mother. She's a little redneck. She's a tomboy, 100 proof. She'll wear a dress, but she better have jeans on underneath of it. Frances, that quilt you're working on is gorgeous.
Yes,
Thank you.
It is.
her tulips.
The Jenny Dawn tulip
Yeah.
quilt is all I know.
That is really pretty.
Thank you. I already made my chicken quilt from Rita, but I haven't quilted it yet. I'm like you. I've got, I know, 4 ready to be quilted. I mean, I got to sandwich them together, but I don't have a long arm.
You'll get them.
Well, I finally decided what I'm going to do my chickens out of. I have a whole bunch of pieces of Aunt Grace's prints. And so that's what I'm going to do my chickens out of.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be
Grandma
that'll be
had a
nice.
quilt that was made out of guana sacks, or however you say it. He said that blanket was so heavy you couldn't even turn over in the bed with it.
Oh my goodness.
Well, what kind of sacks?
How do you say it, John? Guana sacks. I guess that's where feed sacks, where you used to get feed in them cloth like bags or whatever.
Yeah, they did the feed and the flour that you bought at the store.
Yeah.
And Donna got her sewing machine back.
I never saw it, so I don't know what it looked like.
So now you can make all kinds of things, Donna. Get back to work.
Dude, they used to use them flour sacks to make little girls' dresses.
Oh yeah.
My mother and her sisters and my dad's sisters, they all had dresses and shirts and blouses out of those flour sacks. And I still have packed in a box a shirt.
This day and time don't know nothing.
Oh, I know.
The best of everything.
Mm-hmm. I still have one of the dish towels that my grandmother made for my mom out of a flour sack.
Uh-huh.
And I'll tell you what, that's one of the best dish drying towels I own.
Yep. That cotton.
Yeah.
Some of them
I use mine.
They just don't dry dishes real good.
Yeah.
No. Oh, and these things now that they call the flour sack towels,
Yeah.
they look more like a baby's gauze diaper than a dish towel.
Yeah.
You got to be really picky when you buy those.
Oh, I bought a set of them here a while back at Sam's because they had a dozen of them for, I think it was $11.50. And they looked real nice. And I took them and washed them and brought them home. And of course, I pressed out the corners that I was going to put my embroidery designs on. And I noticed how wide those threads were spaced. And I thought, oh, it'll be all right. I can embroider it and it will turn out just fine. Well, let me tell you, that stuff is something else to try to embroider because the threads want to separate. And I told my daughter, I said, baby girl, I will do this, but I don't think you're going to like the way they look. And she looked at one that I had finished and she said, Mom, they're just going to dry dishes. I don't care. It's something that you made. So quit worrying about it. And, well, all right. If you ain't going to worry about it, I won't either.
I still have 3 cloth diapers from my kids. I've used them as rags drying and washing windows and stuff. I still have 3 left.
But
oh my goodness.
Diapers nowadays ain't like the ones we had to fold and pin. They got all them fancy little snaps with the
Yes.
fingers and stuff. Like Like, I don't even know if you can buy diaper pins
They
anymore.
even got washable diapers now.
Yeah, I still have diaper pins too saved.
Yeah, I do
Mhm.
too.
I've got a couple of them. I think one of them has a, um, oh, shush, Randy. Randy, I'll tell Shannon. Shannon can get you.
Yeah.
But one of them's got a little pink elephant on it, and I think the other one is white duck.
I have a
Mhm.
yellow duck and a blue elephant, I think it is. That
Oh,
I
wow.
The sweatshirt.
I'd have to
You
look
must
through
have
my
turned it
kids'
down.
bags. I saved them.
One of my granddaughters found one of those diaper pins, and she looked at it and she says, Nanny, what is that thing? I said, well, honey, that's a diaper pin. And she said, for what? I said, well, honey, that's what I used to pin your mama's diapers on her with, and your Aunt Becky. She said,
Diapers are
"You-"
disposable.
and she said, you did? Didn't you have tape for them? I said, honey, they wore cloth diapers. I said, I didn't use disposable diapers. And I said, and I made your mama and your Aunt Becky's diapers. And she said, why? I said, well, because it was so much cheaper. And I said, I didn't mind washing diapers. And she said, ooh, that would just be gross. And you had to use those big old pins?
And
I
then
said, yeah. She said, didn't they hurt your fingers? I said, well, no. That child is terrified of pins and needles.
Uh,
And it just, I go to him a pair of pants or a skirt for her, and she just stands there and quivers. And I'm like, Izzy, I'm not going to stick you. But she's just terrified of them. I said, child, if you want me to teach you to sew, you got to get over this fear of these pins.
yeah.
You're going to have to learn to use them.
Yeah, them cloth diapers and rubber pants. I don't even buy rubber pants anymore either.
I tried finding a pair at the store, and they don't have them. They have the ones with the snaps.
Yeah.
Because disposable diapers were for going to town or church or something like that. Cloth diapers at home. So.
Mm-hmm.
The other day I was sitting there with the grandkids, and I was folding it, and they go, "What are you doing?" I says, "I'm trying to remember how to fold the diaper, because there's one way you folded it for a girl and another way you folded it for the boy." And they go, "Why do you fold them different?" I says, "Because where is their pee-pee compared to a girl's?" Oh, because you had to catch it.
I remember running the diaper pins through my hair, but I don't remember why.
Trying to sharpen them.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I didn't know that.
The natural oils or something I still use that. If I have a pin that's not going through, I'll take this pin from my sewing and put it in my hair still.
Well, I didn't know that. I just learned something.
I didn't either.
But I'll sure try that on the pins, because sometimes they won't go in.
Yeah, they don't go in, and it's like, I want them to go through.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so Alani tried it the other day because I did that.
To sharpen them.
And I says, that's only for grandmas to do.
She'll be sticking herself in the head.
Yeah.
I don't know. As short as my hair is now, I don't know whether it'd work very good or not on mine.
I've got enough. Yeah, I've got enough. I could do it. So
I think you still have enough. I think you have enough still. It doesn't take much.
Well, that's good.
Because I actually rubbed them through my husband's beard, and it did the same thing. So,
I guess that'd be another reason I could tell my boyfriend he needs to come visit. Oh, come on. I need some pins sharpened. I need your beard. That ought to go over real good.
Do you have a boyfriend? Do you have a boyfriend?
Yes, I do.
Oh, well, good.
I've had since 2011.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's nice.
It for the last few years it has been a long distance thing,
Yeah.
but
That may be
we
best.
survived it. But we've survived it. He's got 4 grown kids and 7 grandchildren, and 8 grandkids, and I have 2 grown daughters and 6 grandchildren, and so
And Randy says it's not him.
no, no. No, mine is a blue-eyed cowboy. So
Hey, Sheila, you need to come up here with
He
us.
broke up soon, didn't he?
He
He
what?
broke up soon, didn't he?
He
Saying
did,
it was not
didn't
him.
he? You,
The guilty one speaks.
he afraid Shannon was listening. So, hey, Martha.
hi, Martha.
Here you go.
I keep covering up my screen so I can't see the chat with my fabric.
Peggy Lynn said she loved cowboy.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want someone that has a good conversation with. Be compatible. That's the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we found out that we are very compatible. We get along great. And how are you tonight, Sheila?
Well, I'm doing better. I had to go to the dentist this morning.
Ooh.
I filling filled out, and they filled that, and then I broke another tooth, and I had to have it was a crown he put in 13 years ago, so he had to replace that.
Oh my.
And it's not cheap.
No, it is not.
Even with dental insurance.
Yeah.
Is anything cheap anymore?
What did someone say?
You can't do assisted living.
I don't think anything's cheap anymore, except for the way everything's built.
Storming in Louisiana again tonight. Yeah, we got a rain this afternoon on the hay in the garden, but
We didn't get any rain, but we're supposed to get some tonight.
we got a pretty good pop up this afternoon.
But you can rake the hay and still bale it later.
Oh yeah, it'll be fine. We needed rain on the garden because I told my mama today. Said, "Well, we got to eat too. The cows need the hay to eat, but we need the garden to eat." So.
Yeah. I know they had rain forecast for this area. They said between 2 and 3 this afternoon. Well, shoot, I was out and all it was humid. And then they moved it to like between 7 and 8 tonight, and we still don't have any rain. But over the Kansas line, there's a couple of places that are really catching it, and they're running the thing across the television about the storms that are going on. But they're moving west, not east. So
yeah.
Well,
Yeah, even our pop-up today come out of the east and moved to the west, just backwards than what it does sometimes.
I just hope it doesn't head south when it's heading west, because I need some.
Yeah, that would be beneficial.
And Kelly said her grandma told her the strawberry on the pinned tomato was a sharpener for pens. I've heard that before too, but I don't have the tomato anymore. I think it come off years ago, and I don't know where it's at.
I've never had one of those pin cushions, but I keep hunting for one.
And good night, Charlotte.
Good night, Charlotte.
I understand when people get tired and exhausted and got to go to bed. I understand. Thanks for stopping by and visiting with us.
Well, talking about those tomato pin cushions, the ones that you buy now don't even have the little strawberry on them anymore.
They don't.
If they don't.
And they make, what is it, 4 different sizes of the tomatoes now? I know
And
I've got 2 different sizes.
and
Huh.
somebody made them in 5 or 6 different colors. I go, they're not tomatoes no more.
Or
It's
no.
purple,
They're
orange,
not.
yellow, green, blue.
I think the 2 that I've got 2 of the biggest ones, and they're bright yellow, which I know they have yellow tomatoes, so that works. But the small one that I got was a gift from my dad and to carry with me for my hand quilting, and it's blue. But I decided I wasn't going to argue because blue was his favorite color, and if he wanted wanted me to have blue tomato, I'd have it, and I still use it.
My only chance of rain is Friday, and it's 46%.
Ooh.
It's like
I
that's
think
not
our
a good
next chance is Saturday.
and then I have nothing for the next week. Ugh. I need rain. I guess I'm going to pay the city. That's
You'll have the purchase rain.
We don't have to pay the difference. No, we don't.
well, right now I'm saving water because I still don't have my washing machine hooked up. So,
Mm.
I hate going to the laundromat.
I can't have a washing machine here. And we have a laundry room here, but there's only 3 washers and they're small capacity. So I've been going to the laundromat now since 2011. And the one that I used to go to, I absolutely loved, but they've closed. So I had to find a new one. And I like the new one, but it's a little busier, but it's okay. The machines are better and they actually do a better job. Hi, Mona. It's just more expensive to do it. And so.
We've been missing you, Mona. You're going to have to come back to us some night.
I watched her video today of making a bag.
Debbie and then Charles put his mother in.
I will have to go watch that.
I don't think they had to pay nothing more than what her check was.
Hello, Rita and ladies.
Hello. I was going to say hi to you when I put you up there on the screen, but I didn't want to interrupt the other ladies talking. So,
Oh, that's okay.
how are you?
The sound keeps making a boing sound.
Oh.
I'm working on Tracy of the Sewing Channel.
Mm-hmm.
She put out the thing, the challenge to make her strawberry gingham.
Ooh.
Let me make you bigger so we can see it. I'm not
You
seeing
see
this
it?
blank. Yeah, there it is. Kinda. Yeah.
Can you
Oh,
make
that'd be
Yeah, it's
great.
not very bright.
No, it's not very clear.
Anyway, she put out a challenge to make her strawberry gingham quilt.
Yeah.
That's neat.
So I've been cutting light pink to darker pink and red.
I was talking about the one behind you.
So I got a pretty good stack
That
going
would be
so far.
pretty.
I know which one you're talking about. That's over there in the other neighborhood.
Now I got to cut the green for the stem.
Okay.
today?
That should be enough variety right there.
Today, Mona was having squirrel moments.
Uh-oh.
A squirrel moment.
Went and got my stress test done today. I go back tomorrow to get the results.
Oh, boy.
That was a long day.
Gino.
8 o'clock to 12 o'clock.
Wow. I had to have a stress test about 2.5 months ago, but they just did it was a chemical.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did. I can't run or anything. It
Yeah.
really, to me, didn't seem to make any difference. I guess it did. The first time I did it, I felt like I was going to die. And then the second and third time so far, maybe even fourth time, the last 2 or 3 times now, it didn't feel much difference, but except for a fluttering.
Yeah.
This is going to be the stem. Most of this fabric I'm cutting up right now, I got at the thrift shop.
Oh,
So it was like
neat.
$2 to $3 a yard, maybe at the thrift shop.
I'm hearing an echo, and I don't have anything else on.
Yeah, there is an echo. Has somebody got something else on?
It's not me, is it? I hadn't been
Hold on a
talking.
second.
I was muted during that.
Mona's being sneaky.
Is it gone now?
Under her blanket.
Is it gone? I think it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Now I hear crickets.
Well, yeah, I've got my door open.
Okay.
so you are hearing crickets, tree frogs or whatever. Yeah, I didn't know you could hear them.
There was an echo there and that.
There's still an echo?
Yeah, there was.
I think I still had YouTube on my phone.
You just have to do the speaker on that one.
Yeah, I clicked off of that one, so that shouldn't even be there anymore. I should be just in StreamYard right now.
Okay.
I still hear the echo.
Yeah, I
When I
can
talk?
too.
Is it when I talk?
No, it's when any of us talk.
That shouldn't happen. Testing. There it didn't echo. Oh, there it echoed.
Did mine echo?
Let me. I'm gonna mute Pam just to see. All right, I muted Pam. Do we hear it? Do you hear it? Hear it echo?
I don't hear it now.
I had her muted.
Yeah.
But I unmuted it.
Yeah, now I can hear it again.
I'm gonna test Sheila. All right, Sheila's muted. I still hear it.
Yeah.
So we think it's Pam.
Yep.
Did you get? Is Pam froze up? I think she is, isn't she?
What I can do?
Oh, when she unfroze, she moved all together.
Is she frozen?
Mona thinks it's Pam. Did you get something shut off?
It's kind of nice hearing those frogs in the background.
Yeah, we had that shower late this afternoon, so they're really singing out there. And it cooled it off. So that's the reason I just opened my door here beside me.
Yeah. That echo is really bad. Let me try leaving, and I'll see. It could easily be this phone that I've got because it's pulling some real weird stunts lately. I don't have StreamYard. All that I have is YouTube.
We're not
But
we're not echoing now though, Kim.
oh, we're not?
Pam's off here and we're not echoing. I
Yeah.
think she had something on.
Oh,
There was something hidden on her side that she can't find.
yeah.
Can you hear an echo now?
No.
Sounds good to me now.
Okay.
Maybe she'll find the problem and come back.
Yeah.
Matching colors here. So I make more of those blocks.
I was out long enough today to get my allergies stirred up, so now my nose is going to itch all evening.
I was in a back shed that hasn't been open for a while.
Oh, goodness.
So I'm having those issues too. It's like, why?
And if my frogs get too loud, y'all have to tell me and I'll shut the door.
I wish my frog made a noise. Then he wouldn't scare me so bad when I go out there.
Well, the reason I mentioned it, I haven't heard like a frog sound before on here.
Oh,
And I thought, well, that's different.
I think
That's okay.
it's the little tree frogs are singing is what I think it is.
Is it?
My
it doesn't sound like
late husband used to say when the tree frogs got to singing, they were croaking up a rain.
Well,
It usually works.
well, we had one, so they're singing because it did rain, probably. So
Probably. Either that or there's more on the way, Rita.
we could still use some more. It's summertime.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining about the rain.
Yeah.
Rita, you got any of that cobbler left?
A little bit, but boy, that stuff was good. 3 times today, I got me a bowl of that with ice cream. It's good.
he's out
Wasn't
that
pretty
ice
at all. By the time I dipped in the bowl and put ice cream on it, you didn't know it was ugly. So
I bet it was good.
it was. And Peggy can't hear my frogs. Oh, you're missing out because they just sound. It's just a country sound.
Oh yeah, they're in there, very distinct.
My husband and I used to sit on the front porch of our log house and sit out there and listen to the frogs. We had a great big old pond about, I don't know, 120 feet from the front of the house, and all kinds of frogs down there. And it was such a relaxing sound.
Yeah.
And
I'd like to do whooper wheels again. There's no whooper wheels where we live at now, so I ain't heard them for years.
we had one that used to sing, and he'd get to carrying on just right outside my oldest daughter's bedroom window. She got so aggravated one night, she opened her window and she just yelled, "Shut up, you idiot bird." Of course, it didn't do any good.
No.
So then we got to saying every time we'd hear that whippoorwill, we'd say, "Well, there's Becky's bird."
Bird, yeah.
She told me a few years ago she had heard one. And I said, "Your bird followed you?" And she said, "No." She said, "Mom," she said, "I haven't heard one since moving to Kansas City." She said, "That's the first one I've heard." I said, "Well, that's neat." But she wasn't impressed. She does not like the sound they make.
Oh, I kind of like it. Now, I don't know
I do
if it would not be annoying, but
Uh-oh, Mona's getting the stink eye from her daughter.
Uh-oh.
Hi, Mona.
Hi, Mona.
Bye,
you're
Mona.
going to have to join us here in a night or two, though. We've been missing you.
Well, ladies, I have had a very full day on very little sleep. So I'm going to say good night and wish you all well. And y'all have a good night.
Well, we've enjoyed visiting with you
I
tonight.
know. I'll see y'all later. Bye.
Bye. Good night. Good
Bye.
night. Well,
Francis is throwing away or cutting.
Night, Kim.
Francis, I believe she's sewing. I think I've heard her sewing machine.
I know
Yeah.
and
I'm on
mine.
my last row of putting my little things on my tulip, and then I got to put them together and put the sash in between them.
Okay.
Okay. So is your design wall black?
Huh?
Is your design wall black material?
Yeah, I just got some what do you call it? The stuff from Dollar Tree that kids use.
Okay.
What's it called? Poster board. It's not the flimsy poster board, but it's more like the thicker. And me and John taped it together because I needed a new one. But I want to get me a tablecloth to go on it. I bought one to go on it, and he put it on the table.
I went to a yard sale and got 10 of them for $0.25 a piece.
Wow. That's good.
Except for I'm using them until at different family functions and that.
Yeah.
I went to Walmart and bought one, and I was going to put it on this wall. Well, it's way too big, so I got to take it back and get a smaller one. Because the one I got's like either 108 or 120 inches long, and it's too big.
Sounds like a big one, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I just have cardboard boxes. That's all mine are. I opened up some cardboard boxes, put some grommet holes in the top, and hang them up.
Okay.
I have 3 of them.
But them old flannel tablecloths, they work pretty good, though. Just stick that stuff up there.
The next size is an 84-inch, and I think that'll work.
Mm-hmm.
So
The one I got was a 52 by 70. But I'm gonna need one bigger than that, I think. 'Cause that's a pretty big board. That's bigger than the white one I had.
Well, I don't really have a room that I can like put it in. I have to do it in a hallway.
I don't either. I'm in my kitchen now because I'm in here because of Beverly. I have to come in here and sew and not sew in my sewing room because I have to be near her. And so this is behind me in the kitchen by the back door.
Yeah. Well, my sewing room, I mean, the way where the door is and the window is, there's not,
I don't have
there's
room
like
in my
a
sewing room either to put nothing.
trundle bed on one wall, you know, so I just don't really, but there's a hallway that I can put it, so. But it's like real close to my sewing room, so.
See, I have one in that hallway.
Yeah.
But I was thinking I could put one of those curtain rods up there that has the hooks, and I could have a movable one.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
The curtain rod's right here behind the door.
That'd be a good idea.
I bought it to put a quilt at the head of my bed, but I don't have a headboard, so I don't want to pull the quilt off of those hooks all the time. So I might have to I could do that. Probably no problem. But I'm so used to pinning my blocks up there now. I used to use just a batting is what I used to use.
Oh, we were talking about people charging for you to go on their site.
Hello.
Teresa down under is one of them because I went on her site today and she had 3 different prices for you to join. A beginners and and went on up. But yeah, it started at $3.99, $4.99, and $5.99.
Well, there's even long arm quilters that want to show us how to long arm different things, but they show you a sample and then they want to sell you into the other part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another person that she's wanting to do a Zoom sew along, and you sew on your own project, and she's charging $30.
Oh Lord.
And her name is Yvette Renee, but
Yep.
she's real big on doing like paper piecing.
Yeah. She likes FPP.
But someone told me that she was going to charge $30 for Zoom, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, it's a virtual retreat.
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of people do Zoom sew along, and someone just sets it up, and you don't have to pay anything for it.
Yeah.
I know, like Soya has these free classes they're doing, and they're doing them on Zoom, and they have different moderators. Like Sobecca's doing one, Stephanie Stitches has done one, and you don't have to pay for them.
Yeah. Well, I want on the long arm, I want different ruler techniques because I have some ruler quilts coming up I need to do. So I try to find ideas. But
Yeah.
when I can't sleep, I watch some of those long armors.
Uh-huh.
It's just they move just like it's a dance, and it's so smoothly. It's like next thing I know, I'm sound asleep.
I think so. Yeah, I did some long arming classes, but I don't know what they were because I don't have a long arm.
It's like when Courtney gets the long arming on hers, I'll ask her a million questions on the rulers, and then she shows me how those rulers work. Because I want her to show me a whole bunch of them with what they call a 4-in-1. Then I go over to Michael's for his rulers, but he's got way too many rulers he's designed out now. I don't want to sew that many ruler things. But yeah, the gal that sent me the pattern and the ruler for that one on the wall, she's wow, did you sleep? She says. They just start going together, and that's all it is. And her husband noticed right off the bat that I had that pattern up on the wall. And most men don't notice things like that.
No.
See? Then there are those saying it helps them bring you content. Nobody is forcing them to make content. Just don't like any of it. It's like they are being for money. Yeah. Well, a lot of these long armors used to give their class, do it for free. And then everybody started charging stuff. But like Rita's one that has the is it the flower? Is it meander and then a design?
Uh-huh.
I said, yeah. I want that one now.
And it's easy to do. It was an easy one.
Yeah.
That one with the little bee was a little harder to do, but
yeah, and that's the other one. I want the bee. I have the star, and then I designed the butterfly one. But
I'm working on the butterfly quilt.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to have the long armor do some kind of bee on there,
The flight of the bumblebee.
Yeah.
That's what I call it. Because it meanders, it goes around for a while back different directions, and then it does the bee, the flower. Mine does the butterfly and the star. But I have to draw them all out each time when I add on a new character. But I liked your bee because it looked simpler than the bee I found.
Mm-hmm.
And many said it's on sale.
I love listening to those noises behind you, Rita. Yo, Patty's on. I didn't notice that she's on here. I agree. I don't like when a channel promoting the pattern that is free, but you need to buy their quilt bundle to go with it. Upselling. Yeah. Yo, Patty, did you see how far I got on Rita's thing? It's like, she found a pattern for a 6.5 incher for $4. And I go, I don't want a 6.5 inch block. But that's how far I got on there, Patty G.
And that's it.
I just got to design the bottom basket for it next.
Okay. It's pretty. You can use it. You'll be able to even use it in one of your sampler quilts too. So.
Yep. But it's just, Patty knows I like challenges.
And Nancy is taking the leap and sewing with Mona on Wednesday. Well, I'll have to watch. I may come sew with you guys.
What time will she be on?
Nancy, what time will she be on? Well, I'll have to go sew with Mona and Nancy.
I know I'm always on over at Kathy's, and I sneak over and say hi.
Yeah,
I can start one more computer. What the
today,
heck?
when Mona come on today, Terry was in the house eating lunch, and so I didn't go up on the screen with her.
Yeah.
She stayed on for a long time.
Not as long as
It's
Kathy's usually on. See, today was 8 hours again, I think.
Wow.
Mona said that she needed 400 hours for something.
No. Yeah. There's all different things they have to meet.
Yeah.
But after we got done with today's block, which is right here, that bird.
I like that bird. But that was funny. I was watching you today when you were helping them turn them blocks, and and I wasn't even seeing it. I wouldn't even know which one the Hardy that's supposed to pick up the turn. I was seeing the mistake, but it didn't know how to turn it to fix it. Yeah. So that was kind of funny.
It's been a challenge. I finally just have to have her put her hand on a block, and then I'll tell her which way to turn it. But it's like, it's a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got that done, I went in and painted in my bathroom, and I took my laptop with me. And then I went to the kitchen and pointed it towards those big plants that are in my house that are going to be here for another couple weeks. And I took some of the long branches off. I'm trying to run out of bobbin thread so I can rewind bobbins. It used to be easier than it is now to get all those numbers.
Yeah, get all those numbers. And they're talking about when you get 1,000 subscribers and get the hours to get your channel monetized.
Yeah.
I didn't go through all that. I made that chicken and dumpling video, and then I didn't come back to YouTube. And when I come back, it had made me a whole lot of hours. So I didn't have to work on it. It just happened when I wasn't watching.
Are your hours staying up pretty good to keep you
monetized? They are. Yeah, they are.
Okay. I'll keep watching them, setting it up to watch them at night to help you keep up in those hours.
But my channel, I monetized my channel last summer, I think I did. But I'm not making any money. It's not enough to. It is nothing, you know. Maybe if you use one of them big channels, you'd make some money, but not on a little channel.
Well, some people say it just depends. Like that one gal, she goes out, she records that she's going out to Goodwill or she's going on a date or out with a girl, and she gets thousands of watchers. It's like, how? Why?
Why? Yeah.
Well, Mona, you're going to have to tell them you're going out on a date so you can get thousands of watchers.
I don't want to go on a date with somebody.
I went on a date with my husband out in the tractor the other day. I didn't get thousands of watchers though.
I still have to go in and watch that one. I have to say I'm bad. I didn't watch that one yet.
Okay. It was just a pop-up. I just was going where he was, and so I thought, I'm just going to turn on this, record a little bit of this.
Does he say, do you ever go any place without going on live?
He gets so upset with me for doing that.
I know the one day fishing when you wanted him to say hi.
So he cracks a smile.
No, I'm not doing it.
When you turn that camera towards him, he cracks a smile.
Yeah.
But he don't want me to. But anyway, I do it anyway.
He doesn't have a choice on the tractor.
It had what? Do what? He no choice. No, he didn't have a choice.
Not on that tractor.
Oh.
Tell him to set it up with a sewing machine in there, and you'd spend more time out there with him.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple farmers around here that they have featherweights. They've set up tables for their wives, and they've got it all set up where they can sew as they're going around doing the farm work.
Wow. Huh.
I don't know if I'd want to get all that stuff in them.
No, I don't think I'd want to. That'd be hard.
Well, they put over here, they put refrigerators, TVs, sewing machines.
What, in some kind of little travel trailer type thing that they go to farm with or something? Is that what you mean? And
no, it's in the cab of the combine and the tractors.
Oh my.
They have it really set up in there. It's like,
wow.
Whoa.
They must be really big tractors then.
They must be, yeah.
Those Steigers or whatever they used to be called.
So that little old seat I sat on just about like that. Just if I'm a big old gal. If I was any bigger, my honey wouldn't fit there. So.
Yeah, the tractors that come through here when they're combining the wheat, they're like really big, and those tires are huge.
Uh-huh.
But my husband, the first time he went out after they got a little more modernized, he goes, there's a refrigerator and a TV in my combine.
Yeah.
I says, and what are you going to watch? He says, I don't know. I don't even know how to get it to work.
That's kind of what Terry says about some of this. He don't have that much stuff, but even his stuff, because it charges the cell phones and stuff like that. But I don't know how to use that. So. Oh, yeah, I'm yawning.
It's getting, well, it's 45 minutes before you're normal, but anytime you want off.
That's right. Anytime.
I may just do something here. If I was doing something, I'd probably stay more awake. I'm cutting my pieces now for the quilt I'm working on. You know, I had made those X's and sewed on both sides, and now I'm making the half square triangle. So that's what I'm working on. But I've got this whole stack to cut. And then press them and then square them up.
I got enough tulips left to make a small quilt now.
Rita,
Getting closer to needing to fill my bobbin.
Rita, before you cut your fabric, do you use anything like Best Press on it?
I don't. I probably ought to, but I don't.
I
Yeah.
don't either.
That would probably stiffen it up more, but I don't do that.
I don't either.
I don't either. I'm the old-fashioned quilter. They didn't use it back then. Why you do it now?
Yeah, I use Best Press or sometimes something called Flatter. And this other girl, she uses just regular heavy starch in a spray can, and I've done that before.
I've got some of that Best Press, but I don't use it. And sometimes I use it after I cut things if they're pretty small to stiffen them up, but not on everything. So.
Well, now, so Becca did a demonstration of spraying a quilt block after it had been put together, and she said that it shrunk it like by 1/4 of an inch.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
She said you should spray it, spray it
Before you cut.
and then cut it. Yeah. She said don't spray it afterwards. But I think she did a little block, and she was showing that.
Yeah. And there's some fabrics that are worse than others.
Mm-hmm. And Peggy and always use her homemade starch on mine before cutting. I don't saturate it like others.
Yeah. It's like I do not.
I'm trying to think of the gal. I think she's on the Fat Quarter Shop. She drenches hers like in a bathtub.
Yep.
Wow.
And hangs them up. And those things are so stiff.
Yeah. When you can sit there and hold it like this and it stays that's too stiff to me.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably how they can just fold them and make that little crease then. They're probably so stiff that.
Yeah.
Floral butterfly quilting squares. Floral butterflies quilting squares.
I got the butterflies.
But I'm not going to drench fabric, but I'll just spray it all.
I was wanting the solid one.
But I watched her demonstration, and it was amazing what she did. I mean, she just drenched it in a bathtub to where it was like dripping. And then she hung it up on like this little portable rack thing to let it dry.
Yeah. A lot of them have those old drying racks that we used to use in the winter.
Yeah,
they have them where they
like,
just stay in their tub and permanently.
And I'm like, oh no, I'm not doing that.
This chair sure is squeaking tonight.
Does anybody know where to get a good price on Quilter Select ruler?
No, they're expensive.
Yeah, the reason I want it is because the ruler will not slide at all.
I don't have a problem with any of mine, so I don't know.
My creative grids, they'll slide a little.
I just put them little rubber things.
Oh, I don't like creative grids at all.
And they don't slide. I put those little rubber circle things, and mine don't slide.
Yeah, those little things right there.
Yeah.
I put it on here, even though it didn't slide, because somebody gave me a package of them. And then the other thing that you put so they don't slide is that hospital plastic tape. You put them on there and it doesn't slide.
Oh, okay.
Is it?
I don't like the sandpaper. I don't like the sandpaper ones.
Me either.
I don't have any with sandpaper.
But there is a
But I do like this Quilter Select. I've got like a long one of it, like for cutting out big pieces. And so I really like it. I just want a smaller one.
I have the Quilter Select cutting board that I paid. Whew, but I had a factory error on it. There's a little piece of metal between the layers, between the sandwiches. And I was cutting along and I go, what the heck is this? And it chipped out my blade. And then I cut my finger on it. So I got a hold of them right away and they replaced it. But it took me 7 months because it was stuck out in the boat, not getting into the port.
Yeah. It was all stuck out. Yeah.
I had to keep telling them, am I ever going to get it? Because they kept telling me this month or that month and this month. And it's like,
Yeah.
I finally got it. It's still in its
Most
wrapper.
of mine are creative grids. I think there's one, whatever Joanne sells. That was my very first one that I got.
My first roller was that Olifa lip. It's got a lip on it for the cutting mat. And then Fisker. And
yeah, Fisker, I think, was the first one that I bought.
And Fisker has lifetime warranty.
Does it?
Yeah. I just got a new rotary cutter because my button on the side broke.
Yeah.
He sent me one. All I had to do is send him a picture. And then Patty G got her cutting mat. And I have one cutting mat that lost all of the lines. And the other cutting mat, you put flannel or batting on it, it don't move. It's stuck to it. It's so rough.
I bought a, which I really like, Tula Pink rotary cutter.
Yeah.
But this plastic piece, one day it just like came off and I couldn't get it to work. And so I went on Amazon and told them about it and they replaced it.
Yeah. A lot of them are really good at replacing stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like.
But I really like that one because it's more ergonomic for my hand.
But my Fisker rotating mat here is made out of almost the same stuff as the Quilter Select cutting thing. It's just it's a little thinner. But I like the texture because it doesn't show when you're cutting.
What does it look like?
But my Fisker rotating one?
Mm-hmm.
It's the 13-inch gray Fisker. And it comes apart like this.
Oh, yeah. I have one like that, but mine is so
Mine's
rutted
like
out from cutting. I like that one, Rita.
yeah. You need to, of course, it does like comes apart like
It's built this almost the same way. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And what company is that one, Rita?
it's a Olaf, OLFA. How you say that?
Olfa. Olfa.
OFA. Is that a rotating one, Rita?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
See, it's not
her hole goes all the way through where mine only goes.
Yeah, I'd like to have one of them.
Well, I bought one that was round and it had ball bearings in it, and I didn't have it no time before it fell apart.
And
I go, to me, a round cutting board when you're trying to do a square block is wrong.
Yeah. When I used to go to class, well, we had something called the sewing bee where a bunch of us girls would get together in one place and sew. I took my little bitty one, and then I bought me one of the mat and the cutting board, the ironing mat and the cutting board together.
Yeah, I got the one cutting board that you flip back and forth with the iron. My friend forgot to flip it over and she cut her block on my ironing top.
Oh, no.
Brand new. So I have to put iron-on pads on it.
Yeah.
Now, I got one from So Yeah, like on a Notion night, and it's OFA. And in the middle, it bends and you can fold it up. And I really like that to take to sewing retreat.
And
you can put your rulers in there,
on
too.
The other.
What'd you say?
Is it where you press on one side and cut on the other?
Yeah.
And it folds up.
I don't remember.
It's black.
It's black underneath, and I think green
the
on top.
case.
But it's made by Ofa. Yeah,
Yeah.
just
I think that's what I've got.
and I really like that. Now I got a little bitty one, and I found it at Dollar Tree.
Yeah, I've seen one of them too.
Yeah,
I don't go to Dollar Tree enough. I guess I better start visiting them.
Oh, they got a lot of craft stuff in there now. They even got fat quarters.
yeah,
Yeah.
they got full fat quarters.
And somebody did a review on them, and they say they said, I hate to say, they're better than Joanne Fabrics.
There's some nice fat quarters.
Yeah. But yeah, see, I made a pillowcase cover for my cutting board because that every time that iron-on patch gets hot, it peels off.
Yeah.
So I made this pillowcase for this cutting board.
Yeah.
So when I go to retreat, I unsnap it here, drop my rulers in, and I don't lose them.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now I've got one about that shape, but it's cutting on one side and pressing on the other.
Yeah. But when my friend wrecked it, it's like I had to come up with something.
That's what yours is too, though. Do you press on one side and cut on the other side?
What? Are you talking to me? I wouldn't pay attention.
No.
Oh.
Talking to Sandra.
Oh, all right.
And doesn't yours, Sandra, doesn't it iron on one side and cut on the other?
Yes.
But since she messed it up, you just put a pillowcase over it and use it and iron.
Yeah, I made one with the iron with that special ironing stuff.
Yeah.
But I put snaps in it to where I can just click it. So if I need the cutting board, I can slide it off.
Right.
Because it's like, but I open the snaps and just drop my rulers in and go.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I know where they're at right off the bat. But this is some of that polyester stuff from Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
And when I ironed it, it shrank like gee whiz. So I made it extra big.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't shrink at all when I washed it. It's like, why did it shrink when I pressed it with starch? Because I was making the mass.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, I went to press something down when I was folding the edges, and it just shoot right up. And it's like, okay. So I made it a little bit big, added a 3/4 of an inch on here, and didn't shrink at all. It's like, why things happen, we'll never know.
Yeah.
But
10:30.
I hear somebody else cutting away.
Yeah.
That's
And I'm not near sleepy if I'm doing something.
Well, that's why I started cutting my stuff. I mean, I haven't had my dinner yet, but life goes on.
Mhm.
I'm learning to eat dinner late anymore. Because it's more fun to be with you gals than to be by myself.
Yeah.
There is a difference, that's for sure.
I don't like cutting these. I'm always afraid I'll mess one up.
But
Just don't cut your finger. I've seen so many people just cut their finger.
Mhm.
it used to be every time I put in a new blade, I'd slice the side of my finger. Every
Ooh.
single time.
I got a pair of those gloves, but I don't wear them. They're bundlesome. The ones where you don't cut your fingers.
Yeah.
Hi, June.
I don't like wearing gloves as it is.
I'll quilt with my gloves on, those kind of gloves, but because my hands get so slicky and I just need something to grasp to.
I'm using 2 different rulers to cut these. One to do the corner to corner, and then the other one to do the 5-inch.
And Peggy says that she should be working on her orange quilt.
My blade's dull. It's not cutting all the way through every one of them.
Change
Uh-oh.
the blade.
And
Mine
don't
did
ever
that.
buy a sharpener. They don't work.
They sure don't.
Mine was doing that the other day, Rita, and I put a new blade in it, and it was cutting just like butter.
Yeah.
Mhm. Makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing it twice or 3 times to see
Yeah.
if I can get them all cut.
It's like I have one I use for foundation paper piecing because cutting through all that paper, and then I have one for the fabric. Because
Yeah.
I have 5 Fisker
Yeah.
cutters.
They're just barely stuck.
Yep.
I've got several kinds, but my
So
number
do I.
one that I like the best is a OFA one.
And I've only ever used Fisker, so I'm sticking with it.
Yeah.
My friend has one that's like the Tula Pink one, the weighted. And
Yeah.
I don't like turning and tapping it to get the cover to go off on. It's like I like
I've got
clicking my
one
button.
like that you Quilter Select, I think. You have
Yeah.
to like tap it.
This is like this one.
Hey,
one-
Rita, we have the same taste, except for mine's purple.
Well, I've got 2 of them. They're both dull.
I have 5.
I started using it 27 years ago, and so I got used to it. So I don't want to change to a different one.
And if it ever breaks, Rita, you just send a picture of it to Fiskars. When it breaks, they'll send you a brand new one.
I've got one like that, I think.
Well, that's what I got too. I got Fiskars.
I've only got about 5 of them.
Mine is a Fiskars, but it don't have the handle like yours.
Yeah, but if they break, Fisker replaces them.
I've got several different kinds. I got that one that's a Martinelli or something, whatever it's called.
I don't like that.
I
don't
cannot
like
cut
that
with
either.
that thing.
No, I don't
Because
use it.
you got to lay your finger up over the top like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm scared to do that.
Even though it's got a guard, I still don't trust myself.
No.
And then I think they're made out of very inexpensive plastic.
Yeah.
Everybody I know had to buy a new part within a month. The spring or something came apart.
Yeah, the spring comes out real easy.
Yeah. Well,
But
I got this one right
can't
here, the
use it.
Pioneer Woman one, and I cannot cut with that thing. I can't cut a straight line with it.
Huh.
I hate it.
Well, and then so many people, that one there, because of the way you have to hold it, you can't get the right angle to cut
And
the
it's so
fabric.
lightweight. I mean,
But
it don't have any weight to it at all.
Yeah. So
Well,
that's a good one for cutting papers and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people like Peggy. She loves her Martelli. I tried for 6-7 months with my friends, and it's like, nope, I'm gonna stick with mine.
And that lady that quilts Tiffany's Quilting Life or whatever,
Yep.
she uses one, and she goes to town with that thing.
But the main thing is you always have to have the proper angle.
Yep.
And Patty G loves her Martelli. It helped her when she had her broke hand.
Oh, okay.
Now
This is my most favorite one. Can you see it?
I might have one like that too.
Yeah, I think I've got one like that too, but I got used to these, and I don't like to
This
check.
is
I
my
don't like
most
to
favorite
know.
one.
So, yeah.
And my little one is also the same as this Fisker.
Mm-hmm.
But this is
I'll have
Ulfa.
to grab me one of those and try it.
Actually, it says "Be in my bonnet, Riley Blake."
Mm,
It came in a kit one time.
yeah.
Oh, bobbin, 3 inches to go, and it's like ran out of the bobbin finally. After I made,
The only thing about Betsy here, she don't tell me when my bobbin's gonna run out. My Janome tells me when my bobbin's gonna run
yeah,
out.
Yeah, my Bernina lets me know.
I don't have one of those machines. My needle up, needle down is me. My cut and thread is me.
Well, I have a thread cutter on mine,
Oh, I love that thread cutter.
and I have a knee lift. I'm so used
I
to
have
that knee
one. I
lift.
don't use it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm so used to it. I started using this machine, and I kept doing my knee to try to lift up the lift.
You're thinking, what's wrong?
Uh-huh. But I love sewing on this featherweight.
Yeah, I need to drag mine out one day.
I wished I could have been in the town of Yakima at 7 a.m. when they had the 2 featherweights for sale, working $100 a piece.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
It's on my want list of featherweight.
Yeah. So yeah, one time did an auction of a featherweight.
Yeah,
They
that pretty
had-
turquoise, wasn't it?
There was a candy apple red one time too, and it went for
Oh,
like
okay.
300. And
And
I'm
they
like,
got
oh my gosh.
that turquoise one. Didn't they get $1,300 for it?
Wow.
I don't remember.
It was a big amount. I thought, no, I'm not that crazy.
No. And those people were bidding on that stuff like crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all are crazy. You can find them on Marketplace and garage sales and
The last
antique
one I
shop,
found
you know.
when I started with 7 days out. It ended up selling over $500.
Wow.
And it's
Yeah.
like, no, I can't afford that much.
I bought one at a garage sale for like $35.
I
And I
keep
brought it
looking.
home. I
Well, I got
cleaned
mine
it up.
free.
You know, I just did everything to it. Now there was a little bit of the decals. They weren't as crisp as mine. And I sold that machine for $650. And the first person that looked at it bought it. But she wanted to know, did it have the original bobbin? So she sewed on it, and I showed her it had the original bobbin. That's one thing you want to make sure they have.
Because the featherweight doctor in Sandpoint, Idaho, that's where she moved her place to. She tests every time she finds an aftermarket bobbins and different things.
Yeah.
She tests them to make sure they work. And that's all she will sell.
Yeah.
It has to work because there's a lot that will not work in your featherweight. There's a lot of
that's what they're saying. And I've even read where people said if you take a featherweight to a sewing retreat, if you like go to a quilt shop or go to lunch or something, you should take that bobbin with you.
Yes.
Wow.
Because people will take them, you know.
Oh, wow.
When the secondhand stores and that have one
Oh.
for sale, and you'll look and see that there's no bobbin because they've hidden the bobbin someplace else.
Yeah.
Because those are like $89.
Yeah.
Well, I got mine free when I bought my 15,000 Janome.
Yeah.
I said, I'll get this sewing machine if you'll give me that featherweight. He said, you got a deal.
Yeah.
And I've had it probably 3 years or more, and I haven't sewed on it. And then Miss Rita was sewing on hers, and she was just going to town. I said, I had to pull mine out and see what, So I did.
I
And
love sewing on mine. I really do.
yeah, it sews good.
And I like that little flat table you kind of got to work with. So I
Yeah.
like working on it.
Yeah, because my sewing machine doesn't have any table. I have this 3.5-inch throat, and that's it.
Hmm.
Oh, wow.
But luckily, this gal found a table that it fits in, and I'm using that now. It's something to get used to, but it's like this table has the built-in hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then this part picks up so you can get to other parts of your sewing machine. But I was just sewing everything on that 3.5-inch throat.
Yeah.
And everybody goes, how do you do that? And I says, I just got used to doing it.
It's not easy, but you can.
Yeah. I've made 15 quilts on that little 3.5-inch throat since June of last year.
Mm-hmm.
Plus this, that one. It's like there's 3 more in the works.
Well, ladies, it's 11:45 here. 11 here. So I think I'm gonna head to bed.
You
Okay.
probably need to. Yeah.
Night, Francis.
But see y'all tomorrow night.
I
know we will.
Probably so. Probably so. Unless something comes up unforeseen, but
Yeah, that's me too. Unless something comes up to where I, can't come.
okay.
But I'll see y'all tomorrow. Good night.
All right. All right. Good night.
Night,
Somebody
Francis.
left.
Yes, she doesn't popped off. Don't know if she'll come back or not.
Yeah, she just got a black screen still.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Good night.
Good night.
It's like, does your cutter have a lip on it? The one you were holding, Rita?
This one does, yeah.
I love that lip.
Oh, I use it to cut those big pieces of fabric. It's really good, but it's about the only 5-inch one I've got, so I'm cutting these 10-inch squares down the center. So it's working for it too. So.
Well, I bought it. I have 2 of them. The original one I bought in 1990, and then I thought, well,
yeah, my first one's too short now, and then they come out with that little bit longer one.
Yeah.
So
so I grabbed the new one because they're not easy to find. When you find something you like, it's usually harder than gee whiz to find it to replace it. And I haven't seen another one since I replaced it.
Hello to Russian Mountain Wind. I think they're just getting here. We still got 36 people on here. Are you streaming your channel tonight? Are you streaming? No.
No, because most of my friends are already here. So why have them force them to go one or the other?
If like some of the rest of them, you needed them watch hours.
I don't ever plan on going to be monetized.
Well, you don't ever know though.
Yeah. I'm just one of those. I like to quilt and visit at the same time too. Because I am by myself.
I ride in the hayfield. Somebody said I look like a bobblehead out there in the hayfield.
That's why I got to go watch it. And it brings back memories. I used to always get to go out and pick up the hay with the tractor and wagon. Because I had the long enough leg because the tractor brakes had to be pumped so many times.
And how tall are you? You're a short person, aren't you? You told me.
I'm 5'4", but I have long legs.
Oh, okay.
Short torso. But it's like, I always seem to be able to be my husband and his family, they're all like 27 inseam and I'm 34.
Okay.
Got the longer legs.
I almost fell out of the seat. Well, I was in a cab tractor, so I wasn't going to fall out, Nancy. But we'd hit one of them bumps and then I'd bounce around.
There's nothing smooth about a tractor ride.
Uh-uh.
My mother-in-law would watch my kids so I could go out and help get the hay. I said, as long as I don't have to buck the bales up on the trailer, I'm fine.
Yeah, that's hard work.
And then their Ford pickup had the same problem. The brakes had to be pumped. And it's like, why don't you guys fix these things? Because that's a lot of work pumping the brakes.
Mm-hmm.
They finally got out of dairy business.
Nancy, you or Russian Wind Mountain ought to come up on the screen. We can have more up here, and you can stream to your own channels. Maybe Nancy's bedtime though. Nancy, or do you stay up late?
Yeah.
We can get more people up here to talk. Yo, Patty, I'm making do-over doll heads. This time I cut 3 for spares. Sculptured face is very fiddly.
Yep. I'm waiting to see one of her finished dolls.
Mm.
And she says they have little tiny fingers and she uses Kona, I think it is, because it's got a higher thread count.
Okay.
Every time I have to do something really small, I put freight check on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it got so hot and dry here. My lawn has not had to be mowed for 2 weeks now.
We've got just those couple showers, and I think the lawn's going to grow where the garden probably won't, but the grass in the yard always grows. Thanks, Rita, but I'm juggling a few things, including dinner. All righty.
After the swap partner sees it. Okay. And it's like, there'll probably be somebody that says, Patty G, how much will you charge me to make one?
Yeah. Sheila's phone must have went dead or something, reckon?
Well, I don't know what happened because it normally doesn't leave that black screen there.
Here comes Nancy.
She says a lot more than the pin cushion. Oh, come on, Patty G.
Hi. You should have come up a long time ago, Nancy. You didn't have to wait till this late.
Well, we've just been doing stuff and everything. And then I was in a live on somebody else's channel, and they're in Ohio, and they were picking up a truck and taking it back to their town, and their truck actually ran out of gas on the highway here near Columbus. So I stayed in the live with them to make sure that nothing would happen to them, and if they did, they could tell me where they were. Well, quite sure any police now could get to them faster, but at least they really said thank you so much for staying in the chat with them and helping them out.
Mm-hmm. That would have been scary though. Yeah.
It is. It's still scary to sit there and break down on the side of the road, even though with all our technology stuff and everything today.
Yeah. My daughter broke down before technology. She's out on the interstate at midnight at night. And the state patrolman that called me says, I can't stay with her forever. If I have to get a call, I have to go. Well, I didn't think anything of it. I just took off, and I was speeding a little bit because my daughter's out alongside a road.
Exactly.
At 18, 19 years of age. I'm not going to dilly-dally. And then I go, oh, he's going to be sitting there when I get there, and he's going to figure out where I live, all this by because he has her address by now.
Right.
And she says, Mom was out at the other side of town, that side of town. Because it only took me like 40 minutes when it should have taken me well over an hour. It's like,
They understand. Most of them understand.
But he got to stay there until I got there. So he said he'd go back out and check her car one more time because there was no way I was going to wake her dad up that had to be up at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
So when he got off work, we went back out and got her car.
I've had flat tires and all plenty of times on the side of the road.
Run out of gas. When I was younger, I used to run out of gas all the time. Years ago, not recently, but
You learned your lessons well.
yeah, I think so.
I had a flat tire right after I had surgery, and I couldn't even lift the jack handle hardly. And by the time my daughter got out there, because she was the only one that could leave work and come out and help change my tire.
Right.
By the time she got there, I had the jack under there. And she says, Mom, you're not supposed to be lifting that. I had the spare tire loose laying in the back. So there wasn't a whole lot left to do. But I knew I wasn't going to wrench on that lug wrench to loosen the bolts. Because
Exactly.
it was my shoulder I had surgery on. I wasn't going to goof it up that bad.
Oh my goodness.
I did everything I could with my right hand because I didn't want to use my left.
Yeah. We lived in South Carolina. It was my sons and I, and they were, I don't want to say they weren't little, but they were like 8 and 12, 8 and 11. And, the family was in Virginia, and I was supposed to, working for Bob Jones University, and, you call people to help you, and it's like, they didn't want to show up. They didn't want to do anything. And I was like, y'all supposed to be friends. I'm like, that's all right. So I called my neighbor, one of my neighbors in my apartment complex, and they came and helped. And they were just like, they were so surprised, I said, you know what, that's all right. Because, the Lord will deal with them later on. And all. But my dad, as we were growing up, I grew up in the 70s. My dad, I worked on this car, on all our cars, on all the cars. So I knew how to change a tire, and I had to put oil in the car and check all that and everything.
My ex used to see his car. He could go on empty. It stranded us on the highway when I was pregnant. He never did it again after that. Right.
Yep, exactly.
I'm hoping that $1 is enough. To swap this time is a scavenger hunt for items that come from the word honey. That means a minimum of 5 items.
And she's going to continue. She's typing some more.
Oh, yeah. My phone does that too. I'm sitting there, and I can be supposed to be saying like hello, and I look, and it's HELL.O something or other. I'm like, I didn't type. I didn't even touch those
Randy
buttons.
says, good night, ladies.
Good night, Randy.
Good night, Randy.
Night, Randy. It's like that dang little heart. That's because what was because I chewed him a new one. My husband had a cell phone for work, and I had a cell phone because of the job I worked. And it's like, so when I broke down, at least, or when he got home from work, how long before you get home? And it's like, who knows?
Yeah.
Because we had the rule: whoever got home first had to cook the dinner. And I went with a one of a kind soft sculpture doll with a quilting theme, and named her Miss Honey So So.
Ooh,
That's
Ooh,
cute, Patty G.
cute. Yeah.
that is nice. There, Sheila.
And named her Miss Honey So So.
Yeah.
She's
You
back.
came back.
Hello, my son called,
Oh, okay.
so I had to so I had to so I had to talk to him. He's had a lot of health issues and he's 45 and he's been diagnosed with cardiac heart failure.
Oh
Oh,
my goodness.
Rushing Wind Mountain on my channel, type hen to drop your link and not so. So's on Mona's, and this is my channel. HEN. Rushing Wind Mountain on my channel, type. Sound like I'm chewing somebody out, didn't it?
My nieces.
And Peggy Lynn thinks we ought to do a block swap. I think that'd be kind of fun. Would y'all want to do a block swap?
Sure, I think that'd be fun. Oh my
Well,
goodness
mine
gracious,
wouldn't be
Sarah.
very fancy.
I don't know if I know how to quilt.
No.
I,
Oh,
I'm willing to learn.
it's like you can tell by my wall I have too many.
Oh, we can never have enough blankets here. It gets now the last few years, or the last 4 or 5 years, we've had that polar vortex come down.
Yeah.
oh
And
my. He then came back to the scene to check if he'd killed her. My goodness.
yeah, right, some people just take the road rage way too far.
Yeah. They do that for sure. So now I gotta find that piece that I ran out with the bobbin. At least
One
get that part
time I
done.
was in Walmart parking lot and I started to back out and I didn't see anyone. And then this person runs up behind me, just honking, just staying on their horn. So I pull back in and then he's screaming and yelling. It's a young black guy. And then he got out and he was going around my car with his phone like he was taking pictures, going to do something with it. I mean, he was acting stupid. And then he threw it was like a toenail clipper thing. He threw it real hard at my window and it dented a little bit of the chrome around the window.
Oh
Oh
my.
my
But he
goodness.
finally went on and I go home and I call Walmart and they looked on their camera, but they couldn't see him and they felt it was a one-time incident and they wouldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
No.
But that was around Christmas time, so I'm kind of leery of. I don't go to Walmart at night at all.
Oh yeah, no.
I just go. But this was in the middle of the day,
Well, at Christmas time, they do anything.
and then even after I left, he followed me for a little while, but I kept going different streets,
Yeah.
and he finally stopped. But it was kind of scary.
They say head straight to the police department or a public place that has people.
Yeah, I just kind of went, here this street and that street, and he finally, just left.
Next time, just while you're on the sitting there on your phone, call 911. Tell them where you at and what's
Yeah,
going
and I
on.
told my son about that, and I'd rolled my window down. That's when he threw those toenail clippers at me. He said, "Mom, he could have, gone up to the window and yanked you out of there or done something bad. He said,
Or
never
pepper
throw your
spray.
window down. And
Yeah.
he said, next time, just call 911.
Yeah, because he could have pepper sprayed anything.
Yeah. But I mean, at the moment, you know, you're not thinking about that. I was just so stunned that somebody would do that, you know.
I had one gentleman, as I was backing up, he wasn't behind me, and then all of a sudden he was.
Yeah.
And he just
that
starts
was me.
beating on the side of the rig. It's like, what? You seen me moving?
Nah.
But it's like,
Yeah, that's what it was. He wanted to get by that lane real fast, but I'd started to pull out, but I didn't see him at all, you know. And he just went ballistic.
Charlotte says she's back. She couldn't sleep because Charlotte, I thought you'd went to bed a little while ago.
She went to bed too early.
Now you back up. Well, how would you do a block swap? How could that be the logistics on that? How would you do that?
well, you'd have to take a list of all the names, and then you'd have to ruffle them around, and then you'd have to get everybody's addresses.
I designate somebody else to do that. I'm not organized.
Because you sure wouldn't want them all to come to you, and then you had to pay the postage to get them all back out. That's for dang sure.
Yeah.
Peggy Lynn, you organize it, and we'll join you in it. Had a guy jump out of his car and come towards me. I had a sledgehammer in the front and bent over to grab it. As I set up, he was running back to his car. We know Peggy Lynn's phone's all the time adding words. I bet it's supposed to be car.
Yeah, car.
Oh, goodness.
I like the cat in it. It makes it funnier.
Yeah. She
But you know, when
needed a
something
snack.
like that happens, you know, you don't really think, oh, I should do this, I should do that, you know.
Right after we
I
bought them.
don't ever want to have to use it, but I have my concealed carry.
There you go.
I do carry, so.
Thanks.
And I hope I never have to use anything, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have something in my house, you know, I could use, but not in my car.
In my car, I have a wooden hammer handle that has a leather shoestring through the one end, and it sits right along the side of my car seat.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can just grab it, and that hickory, that old hardwood handle, that's going to hurt.
Yes.
You could do, yeah. You can do some
Yeah.
damage.
Yes, definitely.
You just want it, but by having the leather strap, you put that around your wrist, so if it knocks out of your hand, it's still with you. You can grab it real fast and swing it back around.
Exactly.
But they might grab it and then drag you.
But you should, as big as it was, it should be able to make my fist and get back out of it. But I don't plan on ever getting out of my rig. But you just never know.
Yeah, I mean, this is the closest Walmart, and it's a super center. I've been there for years, the last 6 years, you know, and I've never had anything happen like that. I just, even after it happened, I couldn't believe what just happened.
Yeah. It's just the day and the person that come in. He was in a bad mood, evidently.
Yeah.
Peggy's got a crowbar. It's like, yeah, you just even like if you have a pen, a writing pen,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
I never have one
that'll
of
hurt.
those.
It just wherever it hurts.
Yeah. Well, next time I know not to roll my window down, you know.
I was hunting for an ink pen the other day in my purse, and I don't have one in it.
Sheila, Charlotte thinks you'd be a good supervisor for the block swap.
No.
This was before cell phones and before my concealed carry.
Mm-hmm.
And June says, Patty G, your doll sounds so pretty. Enjoyed making it, but I want to see it when it's done. My 5-year-old granddaughter just loves dolls. I found her one that was made with the clothespins with the round, with the round tops.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I want to see that doll too.
So do I. I still a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
I have to
Okay,
be to have
so Peggy,
70.
look at what
Oh yeah.
Peggy wrote.
Okay, here's what I think. A list of everyone wanting to join the swap. Then everyone can email me their addresses. I can then send everyone a list and addresses to send their blocks to.
But now, so we need her email address.
Yeah.
How
Yes,
do we get
Peggy
that?
Lynn.
How do we get that?
Peggy Lynn, we need your email address.
I almost put the wrong color on here.
Does
Alright.
this Peggy have a YouTube?
No,
Peggy. Okay. Because I could get her email from that.
I
Or
don't even have it.
is she on Facebook?
It is always
She does have a Facebook, but
I guess I could get it
she
from
goes
there.
on to Kathy's site and some others.
Peggy Lynn, we need your email. Hello?
When I sent the block to Kathy, the single block, it took 3 stamps. Or yeah, it depends on what size
She
envelope you
said
put
she
them
put
in.
her email in. I haven't seen it.
It's like Peggy Lynn, you'll have to come on up here, and that way you can say what it is.
Yeah, that's an idea.
And
Charlotte has joined us.
she can't sleep, so she's going to join.
I need to get a paper to write it in.
It's too bad that Sarah's in Canada. Oh.
Yeah, that would be expensive.
And I told you when I described this video, you don't never know what grannies are going to say. Do you?
Oh goodness.
She has to go potty first, then she can come up.
Yeah.
All right.
And I see you down there, Charlotte. I ain't heard you say anything yet.
I haven't said a thing.
No.
I was fixing to go get me a snack. I get hungry at night.
Mm-hmm.
That munchy monster.
Oh my goodness. And we got popcorn and marshmallows and
you just got everything.
Yeah, I hear that crackling sound too.
Yeah, Sarah says I hear a crackling noise.
I do too.
Yeah, go potty.
How's everyone?
Good.
I see you down there, but I ain't heard you say anything yet.
I've said something. I told you I wanted to go get a snack. I get hungry at night.
Do you have YouTube open? If YouTube's open, it's giving feedback, I think.
Do what?
You'll have to close out the YouTube side and mute it because we'll get the feedback, delay in the feedback.
Oh, now we lost her
we
altogether.
lost it. Uh-oh. It's still crackling now, ain't it?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now it's not. Now it is.
So
Yeah.
what size block and our choice of pattern?
Yeah.
So what size block? Our choice of
It's like our swap, we did all 12 and a half that we sent. And then it's like depends on how many you want, I guess.
So if you make how many you make is how many you're going to get back? Is that what?
It's like that's what when Peggy comes up, it's like, can we swap with more than one?
And June says nothing hard.
Because it's like someday I'll have to pin back up my last swap we did. Everybody had to pick one block and we could give it to as many people. We had 19 people we could share with. And so I have 19 different blocks.
Okay.
Including mine. And then I had to make one more because I needed at least 20 to make a quilt top.
The top. June says she's lazy. She wants the easy blocks. And Peggy said she'd send them to Sarah. So we got about everybody covered then.
It's like, I would send up to Canada. If I had, it's like, I can't take it with me, so might as well just spend it on things that would benefit other people. It might be a little more expensive to send to Canada, but it's worth it to let other people participate.
Peggy will be here in a minute.
Yeah, I agree because I was trying to save money and everything else, and I'm just like, well, yes, I would like to have something for my kids and everything if something were to happen to me, but I'm just like, what am I saving it for? Because I can't take it with me when I go.
Right.
So
my son says, spend it, Mom. Because my funeral's paid for. And they said, even if it wasn't, just spend it. On my bathroom floor.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about putting the linoleum in corrupt from the bathroom into through my kitchen area. And if that's the case, I'm going to save up a little. I don't like peeking into what I've saved.
And we make you the big one.
Well, grab pen and paper, people.
Can you see it all?
Yeah. At Gmail.
It doesn't have to be all capitals. I just did capitals so everybody could read it.
Okay. Well, I know Peggy could have sent it to me because we chat as it is. We sew together when I get bored.
In that PRD.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a dot.
Is that a dot or a hyphen?
It's a dot.
Okay. I'll take away my hyphen and put a dot.
Yeah, I had a hyphen too.
Oh, I thought that was a hyphen.
Boy, Rita, we're right on it together tonight.
Yeah, it's a dot.
Yeah. And Patty says we need a start date and a deadline date. And what size? And it's our own patterns, right, Peggy?
Yeah, yes. You make whatever block you want. And I think 12 and a half unfinished is a good size.
And Patty did the dash too.
Yeah, it's a dot. Sorry. It's a little higher than the one on Gmail, I guess.
Yeah.
Has everybody got it? I hope. My arms are tired. Okay.
Oh, come on, Peggy. It's exercising.
Let me make.
Yeah, I think 12 and a half is a good size.
Yeah.
Any block you want to make, doesn't matter how easy or how hard it is. Any color you want to make. And I think, let me write that down, 12 and a half inch block, unfinished. And I think everybody that joins should, so say there's 15 people, you make 15 blocks and you send them to the 15 people and you'll get 15 back. Does that make sense?
That sounds good. So,
and that way everybody will have a top when they're done from the group.
Okay, so you're saying 15 blocks?
So
well, it depends on how many people want to join, right?
Okay.
It's kind of like my group where we had the 19 people. I only had to pick one block, but repeat it that many times and use any fabric.
Yeah.
So you would know.
So you're saying
this
you
block
would make the same block?
You don't have to make the same block. You could.
We had to stay with the same block, just different color fabrics.
Okay. I think I kind of like that because that would be easier to duplicate it, you know.
Yeah, you could do multiples at one time.
Yeah.
You could cut for one type of block. You only have to know one pattern. Yeah. But I don't think you would have to, but we could do it that way.
I'm for doing it that way. Because it'd be easier to sew up, you know, because we're all busy and we're all got other things we're sewing, so.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So when do we want a start date?
As soon as I get a list of people, probably.
Okay. I just sent you my address.
Okay.
Well, and then until I get off my phone.
Once I get everybody, so we're going to need everybody a chance to join, right? So we need to maybe read it, talk about the block swap on some of your lives.
Okay.
And
come up and help talk about it.
And then I don't know, we would need a date to start so that we can get all the people once we get everybody in on it.
What do you think
that way I have a total amount of people that I can send out to everybody, that I can email back to everybody, so you'll have addresses so that everybody can send their blocks. I just think it would be cheaper for everybody to send an individual block than for all the blocks to come to one place and then one person have to send them all out.
Okay. What do you think about July 1st being the start date?
Sounds good to me.
That's fine, Patty. I'm okay with that.
Okay, so we're saying like July 1st.
That gives us more time to say, do you want to join?
Right.
And then she could talk about
That's
it.
what I would do. Okay, July 1st.
And also give you time to get all of the addresses so you'd know how many people want to do it, you know.
Right.
That's our start date. So when's the finish date, would you say?
Well,
I think give 2 months
Yeah.
because everybody does have other projects
Yeah.
and everybody does have other things in their life. Yes, you too, Sandra.
I'll have mine done in the first week.
Let's all see if we can beat Sandra. This will be a challenge.
Right?
So are
That's
you
funny.
saying like 1st of September?
Yes, that sounds good. What do you ladies think?
Sounds
What do you think?
good.
That would be 2
That
months.
sounds good too.
But we can send them out before our time if we get them done.
I don't see why not.
Or are you going to hold back the addresses from me until you'll just give me a number?
Yes. Hold hers back because she's Miss Overachiever.
I think if you finish your blocks, I think you can just send them.
Okay.
If you finish before September 1st, I think you should be able to send them.
Well, I guarantee
You
you
might
I will.
encourage everybody else to do them faster if you.
Well, that block swap I was in before, we had 19 months to get it done because each month we just did one block. Each month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was 5 of us waiting.
Sarah, would you please join? I'll send you a block.
I will send you a block.
There's 2.
I'll send you one.
There's 3.
I've never sent anything to Canada before, but this will be
I
a
have.
first.
I have.
There's really nothing to it.
Right. And Yo Patty said she would.
See?
Yo Patty!
That's funny, Patty.
He's going to use these blocks. We're ready.
That's fine. If you want to use those blocks, Patty, go ahead.
13 and 14. I have 14 blocks done, but it's like I have more over there done.
See, Sarah, everybody will send you a block.
Yeah. And don't you think 12 and 1/2 inch square?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then when
size.
they're sewn, they'll finish at 12.
Mona's up.
You better get sewing, Mona.
Gonna have some.
I'm going to Mona's house so she can teach me.
If you're gonna beat Sandra, you better get busy. I better make blocks before I go beds.
I will try not to overdo. If Patty don't overdo, Patty G and I.
The blocks can be folded, Sarah, and I'm sure everybody has an iron so you can press out the creases when it gets folded.
Yep.
And Mona says, "What did she miss?"
All right, I'll hold it up, Mona. It's going to be a block swap.
I'm going to make you bigger, just you.
All right, let me make sure I got it on the screen. Oops. There.
Okay, now don't move so it'll stay focused.
I'm trying not to. Do I need to go higher? I think Mona's name's in the way.
Just a little bit.
Well, the only thing is, it's right there. Oh, this holds.
I'm trying.
Yo, Patty, iron, what's that? You're joining a block swap, Mona. And too bad she did the Ohio Star. She could have had them all sent out before me. But we won't have the addresses until at least July 1st. Closer to July 1st.
All right, bring that's good enough.
Yeah, it should be.
Okay.
And if
That's good because my arms were hurting.
Because if Mona has a problem, she can sit there and ask us.
Yeah, she can go back and freeze frame it too.
It's it's just gonna be a friendship type quilt. Block swap.
Yep. Yep.
She says, what block and what's it for?
Any block that you want, 12.5 inch unfinished, and
a
it's for a
lot of
block
names.
swap. With everybody here on Rita's channel.
And you really include Mona's and Nancy's and Sandra's, all of them, okay?
It's
Not
like,
just mine.
it's like,
It's all.
well, a lot of Kathy's friends are already over here.
Okay.
Right.
So I will ask like Jean Brittenham, and because she normally is here, and see who all wants to swap blocks. And not everybody will get a purple one from me because I'm running out of purple.
Yay!
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
And
This
Kathy,
will give me an opportunity to use some fabric I've got that doesn't really go with anything, but would make a nice block.
And if you have any purple you want to get rid of, you know where you're going to use it.
The only purple I have is in scraps.
How many do we have to make? Mona, we have to make a.
I won't know. I won't know until I get emails.
And you got mine.
Yeah, I don't know how many emails I've gotten. I heard my phone dinging.
I don't get notified that way.
Sarah likes purple, Sandra.
Yeah. I got a few spare.
Patty, it's my first block swap too.
Mine too.
Mine too.
Me too.
I just think it would be fun that everybody gets a block from everybody that watches the channel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had one block swap that was a failure. I think I got 2 out of all of them I sent.
Oh my gosh.
But it's like, I didn't care because I just went and made myself some more blocks that went with it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool, June. I better look at my phone, I guess.
Now, Rita, if you want to make like a video, like a 1 minute or 2 minute video, I can share it on my community tab. Because
you want to make a video on it?
I'll make a video on it.
You make a video on it.
All right. I'll make one. I ordered me a new SD card. This time I only got a lower one instead of this 512. I did 256 GB because I know that works on my phone.
Yeah.
My phone is supposed to hold a 1 terabyte, but it's not doing it. So I was like, well, we did get this.
And I'm not in charge of this. Peggy Lynn and you guys are the ones in charge of this. I'm just kind of over here to the side going to participate, okay?
But Rita, you could talk about it because I know there's other people that listen to you that aren't on here tonight. You know,
Yeah.
Promote it.
Well,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We probably need a name for it. Chicken coop swap.
Chicken coop. That's cute, isn't it?
Right.
I mean, since it's Rita's Roost, why not do a chicken coop swap?
Awesome.
Yep. That'll work.
All right, let me go in and check my. Let me check my email.
Well, if I go to do it, I'll be out of here.
Okay, I've got 2. I got it, Sarah.
It's like, Mona, do you need more blocks sent in for charity quilt too? And if there's specific, let me know. I can find time for charity blocks. I'm doing charity quilts.
No, but you might get more subscribers for shorts.
Right.
I don't like shorts. I'd rather watch something that's It's got a hefty 30 minutes or more on it.
I don't like 30-minute ones. I'd rather watch 10 or
I
12
like
minutes.
the shorts because they're fast and quick. When you
Well,
you don't have a lot of time.
and on mine, I teach more than I do anything because foundation paper piecing isn't a 30-second thing.
Well, the shorts are supposed to be able to draw people to your channel.
Yeah.
That's what the idea of that is. But shorts were made long before YouTube ever started, because 4 years ago, the YouTubers had started doing it themselves, and the homesteading community was really up doing it and everything. And there was a challenge between everybody to put up a little short and everything, just a little bit of what you were doing. And that's how that started. But then YouTube realized people were doing it and they were getting monetized faster by doing that. And then that's when they changed it. So, but it's like, I don't know, it's like trying to do shorts and a video and this, that, and the other, and your lives and everything. It's like, oh, well, wait a minute. This, you know, that's
My
gotten to
only
be too
short
much.
is feeding pigs.
Yeah.
So chicken coop swap starts July 1st,
Chicken
ends
coop.
September 1st, 12.5-inch unfinished blocks.
All right.
I already know what I'm making for Rita.
You making me a chicken?
No,
No.
no. I've been thinking about it, and I was going to message you and tell you, but I think I'll just make it for your block. It's a surprise.
Surprise. I like surprises.
It's like,
Well, it'll be neat because all of these will be surprises for everybody.
I can send a chicken.
That's
Oh, look
cute.
at that.
I have a bunch of these chickens already made too.
Yeah.
And say, if y'all send me anything purple, Anastasia's going to say it's for her. Especially pink.
That's funny.
Because every time we get something in the mail and we win a prize or something other, I have to like do a mail call, and then she'll look at me, can I have it? Especially stickers. Forget it. If anybody sends stickers, everybody learn to send two, one for her and one for me, because
Yeah.
she'll get both of them. Or
Yeah.
I don't mind. She's my only grandchild, and with finding out about mental health and everything, I'm just like, I just give it to her for her enjoy.
Peggy, do you have grandkids, kids and grandkids?
I have 6 grandkids.
I was just asking because we called it the grandma gang tonight, so I'm just curious.
I'm not 60 yet, but I have grandkids. And I have one that is just turned 21, and one that's just turned 15. And then my son waited until he was in his 30s. And he's got 4 little ones. 3 of them are his. One of them is hers. But she was afraid that she wouldn't be granddaughter. And I told her, you're still a granddaughter. Yeah. So when my daughter has her, she's usually in the car if I'm on the phone asking to talk to grandma.
And what Patty said, no quilting plays allowed. So
no, it doesn't matter. No.
I just sent my email.
Okay. Okay. Now I'll make a list of everybody so I don't get lost.
right?
Cool.
And then once I get a list, I'll give everybody an idea how many people joined.
Okay.
But they got all month to join.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, you got to email me,
Mona.
Mona.
Work out now.
Gonna have to email me your address, Mona.
Yeah.
Because once you email me your address, and I've got everybody's addresses, and July 1st comes, that's, well, where can you email from? Anywhere?
Well, she's at Uncle's tonight, she said. So maybe when she
Well,
gets
she
home
doesn't have
tomorrow.
to email. You can email me tomorrow. You got till July 1st.
Yeah.
I'm still going. And I'm fixing to put all these ladies, send them all to bed, Misha.
Misha.
I'm surprised Rita's still up.
I know. Well, I got
She's waiting for all the stuff to write it down.
My dinner's gonna be really late now.
we've been on here for 2 hours and 25 minutes.
Yeah, I joined right after you started.
That's fine, Mona, because you got till July 1st.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And
Yep.
Misha, you might want to watch the replay of this because we're going to do a chicken coop swap. And no, we're not swapping chicken coops. We're swapping blocks.
Well, can you watch the replay of a live?
Yeah.
Yes.
Man.
And they'll see everything that they need.
Yeah.
I
And then
know.
they can pause it to write down what they need.
Okay.
Yo, Patty.
Well, you know, my gabapentin, I take it 3 times a day, but there are some days that it makes me feel like I'm drunk. And other days I'm fine. Which is weird.
There was another lady on here earlier. Her name's Kim.
Yeah.
I bet she wants to do it.
Misha's not, I'm not a quilter yet.
Well, now's a perfect time to start.
And Carla Cutting was surprised you're still on this late. Greetings from Maine.
It doesn't have to be chicken blocks, Sarah.
No.
Any block you want to make. I just figured chicken coop swap was a good name since it's Rita's Roost.
Well, maybe we could call it something else so they won't get confused.
It's any block. Any block.
I think chicken coop swap's cute.
Well, it is cute, but we don't want to confuse them. So
yeah, but it's just like, you know, Rita puts a different name up each night. It's like, I like the Grandma Gang.
Yeah. Well, Patty, I have neuropathy in my feet, and I was taking 300 milligrams once a day, but the pain wasn't going away in my feet. I couldn't even put socks on. So the doctor upped it to twice a day, and the pain was still there. So she's got me on 3 times a day now.
June's on three times a day too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mona said, I quit that. It messed me up bad. I don't know what it's for.
That's what mine is, June. Now, I'm telling you that the pain was so bad in my feet that I didn't sleep for 4 days. And the first time I took it, I slept that night. And after that, I'm a believer in it because it took away a pain like you've never felt in my feet. I couldn't walk. I couldn't sleep. Yeah.
And Sarah said, it's just me being overtired. I slept 3 hours last night. Baby was sick again. She's feeling better now. That's good, Sarah.
That's good. So you nap when they all nap.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. I remember those days.
Like, I'm used to 3 and 4 hours sleep because that's normally what I get.
Yeah, it's really helped, Mona. My legs still hurt when I walk, and I can only do spurts. Like my garden, I go out and do a little bit, and then I have to sit down and get off my feet, and then I can go up and do a little bit more. And it really sucks because I'm used to go, 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 and my feet won't let me. My feet and legs won't let me anymore. And I'm not even 60 yet. Yeah. But that's from diabetes and standing 12 hours a day, 6 days a week on concrete
Mm-hmm.
is what set it off.
Yep.
Oh, Sarah says, you're not an idiot, Sarah, for staying up late.
No.
That quiet time is very nice.
And
Yes, it
important.
I'll probably be
And
up all
important.
night trying to figure out what blocks I'm making.
Well, I know one block I'm making, but I have to decide if I'm going to make the rest of them all the same or if I'm going to make different blocks. I think it's going to depend on how many have joined.
And
Right.
then,
Yeah.
because I'm debating between applique and pieced.
Yeah, I love applique. That's one of my favorites.
I got all my pieces sewed together.
Yay.
Oh, cool.
Got a mess now. Tomorrow I can cut.
And what's that one for? For the black and white one?
It's actually that's grays and gunmetals and golds and it's shimmer.
I don't see gold. I see the grays though.
There's a gold,
Okay.
and here's a gold.
Yeah, back on your design wall, it doesn't look like that though.
And then this one here, if
Oh,
see how
that's
that
pretty
silver
cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and then there's this one that's really light with the silver.
What size are you making?
Whatever this polygon 2, it's this big.
No, I meant quilt.
I go to 48 on the so I can long arm it, and then I
Right.
have a border that goes as close as you go after the fact. So
Oh, okay.
54 by something, but they're usually donation quilts,
Right.
or my grandson will take it, or I'll just add it to my closet. What's another quilt?
I
Right.
think I'm going to call it a night.
Yeah.
I think I am too. No offense, it's been fun, but I think I'm ready to call it a night too. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goodbye,
Yeah, I got
everybody.
20 minutes till midnight here.
yeah, we've been on here for 2 hours and 33 minutes now.
Only 20 minutes to 9 here.
Well, it's
My bedtime's still
10:45
4 or
here.
5 hours away.
Mm-hmm.
It's 10:45.
And I'll be
Well,
up
sorry.
at 5 in the morning.
All right.
I'm
Good
back.
All right. Night, everybody.
Everybody, thank you
Good
for
night.
coming.
Night.
Night.